It's just this prisoner downstairs, you know, there's no reason. Have him on the stream.
I am beginning. Hello and welcome to session 31 of Primordial Harmony, a retelling of the Elemental Evil story in the Dungeons & Dragons multiverse. My name is Mike, your DM, and tonight I'm joined by...
I'm Nyx. I'm going to play Ilaria. She's a Wood Elf Ranger, and she's got her pet panther, Valora.
I am Senna, and I'm playing Delia, the Gnome Wizard.
Our resident bard, Hum, is not here, but she's played by Kitty. She should be here later. But my name is Miles, and I play Tadias. I'm an Oscar Seeker.
I'm Zaffin or Justin, or whatever. I'm the resident dad of the group, Zachary Vitalis, the Fire Genasi Shovel Knight, famed slayer of manticores, gnolls, cultists, two-time champion of foot race against Tadias.
Here, here.
Excellent. So, when we last left the Excavators, the party spent one more day in Forest Stride before heading out with Tadias' co-worker, Katie Kulger, and her colleagues. During that day, Illyria, first thing in the morning, met the tiefling traveling merchant and managed to find and then purchase the merchant's last stock of dried mangoes. Tadias, meanwhile, went shopping for some supplies and spent most of the day crafting oil in the loft of poor decisions. Again, meanwhile, Delia returned to the Akka Library to do a bit more research and learned that Renwick, while he was fully alive, had but one apprentice in the arcane, whose son founded the Mage Academy in Forstride. With that in mind, she found one of Aldax's sons, who was a much older professor, and asked him for more information on Samular. He promised to pass anything he knew along, though he didn't know much more than she did. Hum spent her day chatting with Gizo, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I think we'll find out later. While Tadias was already out shopping for supplies. I don't know why I wrote that twice. Zachriel also visited the traveling tiefling merchant later in the day, who he affectionately refers to as Spice Daddy. After purchasing some goods, he too asked about the elusive mango. Spice Daddy informed him that he had some but was cleared out by a customer with a panther. Eventually, they passed the night and set off in the morning. Katie Kulger, her colleagues, a Wayshield, that's not Zach, named Etburn, traveled the Rollforth Road to Rollid. That night, they were almost set upon by goblins, but Illyria scared them off with warning shots. In Rollid, after a foot race to the pier, it was a calm night. Katie, her colleagues, Etburn, Illyria, Tadias, and Zachriel stay in the Sea Leaf, while Hum and Delia stay in the Blustery Brew, where they hear from Norval about a strange flying something, much bigger than a bird, flying over Rollid, heading southward. Meanwhile, in the Sea Leaf, while Zach and Etburn swap stories about their duties, Illyria and Katie swap stories about Tadias. Next day on the road was also peaceful, with some time spent on the beach, dipping feet into the cool ocean and building sandcastles. That night, however, the caravan was attacked by land and sea. Gnolls from the plains and Chul from the foamy depths set upon the cart. Tadias and Etburn taking most of the harm. The party dispatched the two-front ambush, however. Did I miss anything?
I think you're fine. I think that's all of it.
We now continue our tale with the group recuperating on the coast. Let me fix up the window. And get some ambience going. One moment. The nearly carbonized remains of the knolls blow inland from the offshore winds. The gamey stench of the freshly slain chull fill your nostrils. Katie and her not martially inclined colleagues laying low in the cart. One of them, a human man, peeks up and says, "Are we safe?"
We sure are. Delia heads back over to the cart.
So
I'm gonna look around to make sure we are safe. Do I see anything?
you look around and you notice that Valora is also sort of walking around the camp. She is sort of touching the charred remains of the knoll, and sniffing around. You look out to the distance on both sides, and within your field of vision, you don't see anything except for grasses on the west and ocean on the sort of northeast.
Seem to be okay for now.
Katie hops down from the cart, and Edburn sort of limps over, and he's looking in pretty rough shape. And he says, "I need to get bandaged up here." And he kind of just sets about doing that as he goes to the cart and he pulls out his own little kit and he starts bandaging up his wounds.
Tadias, how are you feeling there?
I'm just laying on the beach, just kind of looking up at this guy.
Oh yeah, roll a d20.
I can roll things.
And if you roll above a 10, you're actually if you roll a 10 or higher, I'll make it a little bit more in your favor. Your sandcastles are fine. You're laying. You look where Tadias is, and you see him laying flat on his back, a little bit of blood on the sand, but right next to him is the group of sandcastles that you all made earlier that day, somehow still pristine.
I kind of weakly point to them and I say, "Look, I saved them." And I just kind of sit up and just look around, make sure that everything's safe. And after a little bit of, licking my wounds, I'll stand up and head cart.
All right.
It's like we're having seafood again tonight.
You rather not eat those. They do not seem enjoyable.
I've never met a creature that you couldn't eat. I walk over to it.
I imagine they smell kind of bad right now.
They smell very, like I said, they smell very gamey. They have that, very fishy, kind of grimy smell.
Is it still like the middle of the night?
Yeah, it's still the middle of the night. It's well past dinner time.
Okay. I'll get started casting another tiny hut.
Okay. So everyone sort of just pats themselves, gets themselves sort of like get the shakes out. Everyone starts to sort of settle down, and you cast a tiny hut, and you resume your round of watch. And the night kind of goes on without incident. So in the morning,
I get 53 hit points.
Yeah, you're just fine. So in the morning, she and her colleagues sort of pack up and get going. You notice as you start heading south, continue your way south, you notice that the land is starting to incline. There's a slight grade as you are slowly ascending, and you look out to the horizon, and the edge of the coast is actually a ways away in parts, but you lose sight of the ocean as you begin getting higher up. And there's some noise from...
I think it's mine. Here, I'll fix it.
The wind sort of picks up for just a second and then dies down.
I miss the ocean already.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. The sounds of the waves is replaced with an offshore breeze. And you get to about here, and you break for midday, just a midday break. Lunch is had, and Katie actually walks up to the party proper, and she says, I just want to explain why we're going to Mortraeth first. She says, one second.
I assume for more supplies?
She points at Zachariel. She says, "Yes, that's it. Over in Mortraeth, there is a fisherman that cures fish meat a certain way. It's tasty, but it's incredibly pungent. And if you eat them, it renders you smell blind for about 24 hours. And the reason we're getting that is because where the mud of the barren bog meets the foot of the Skyreach peaks, it stinks. It smells awful, and no one's really sure why. It smells something like sulfur and decay, but we usually take the cured fish with us, and it makes the job a lot bearable."
I wonder if you'd be willing to teach someone how to make that fish.
She says, he might?
Could see some useful applications of such things.
No, I imagine.
Wait,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
why would you need it, Zachariel?
Well, I just want to learn more about cooking, and I imagine if something can withstand smell like that, he's probably able to increase the lifespan of the fish. A little bad?
Oh, it keeps for quite a while.
See?
I've knocked into a couple disgusting smelling ruins. I wouldn't have minded knowing of this earlier.
Thaddeus, there are 5 people and a dog living in my house now, not including me. So, if I can make something last, I would like
certainly
that.
the smelliest.
Oh. I guess it's because I eat a lot of bacon.
Yes.
Jeez. Does Thaddeus have a sour expression when he mentions bacon?
No, he's smiling.
Okay.
I just grin at him.
Okay. So, the day drags on as the horse drags the cart, and you look to your left and you look to your right, and it's just grasses being blown by the winds. When you're near plains with long plants, and how the wind blows over them and it forms the wavy kind of appearance. It's like that as you make your way up, and you're still sort of inclining a bit. It's very gentle, but you know that you're getting higher just because it's getting a little bit colder. And
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say you get to a place before dark falls and fatigue sets in.
Okay. I was just going to make casual conversation with Etburn on the way up this hill.
Ah.
Etburn, you fight well. Though I couldn't help but notice you May fight a little better with a shield. Might stop you from getting picked up by large crustaceans.
He says, I wasn't ready for those. Gnolls are simple. You swing hard and make them not alive anymore. But those things, they picked me up. No gnolls ever picked me up. They just tried to stab me. That's why
we fought one of those a little while ago on the island out there in the bay.
Oh?
Yeah, these cultists had it trapped inside a room. I believe at the floor. There was no floor in this tower. It might have been connected to the ocean, but there's a lot of strange creatures around. Yeah.
He looks kind of he gets this look of he gets this look of curiosity, and he seems to just sort of sit down and he's listening to you, and he says, Can you tell me more? Because I'd like to be better prepared. He says the only thing.
Tell you everything I know.
He says the only thing I've really fought were goblins and gnolls. The occasional bugbear.
Well, when you're able to start accepting jobs away from Forest Stride, you'll run into a lot more.
He
Such
just
as serpents that mimic the shape of water. You can't see them until they jump out at you.
he's just looking at you with wide eyes, and like it looks like he's very curious to learn. I mean, like I've already said that, but I mean, he looks like he's someone who cares about his work in a sense, and he wants to be prepared for other challenges.
I can respect that. You know what would be really cool? If you could get really strong and use your greatsword in one hand, use a shield.
That would be helpful, but this thing's pretty unwieldy in one hand, as I am now.
Something to work forward towards.
He seems to take that to heart.
Of course, you could always be like Tadias and throw, like, bar stool pieces of wood at people, kill them just as effectively as a sword.
He says, well, I mean, when those things are around, usually it belongs to our clients. What word am I looking for? Not clients. The people that hire them. Derp. Well,
Patrons?
Patrons.
I think client's the correct one.
Yeah,
honestly.
clients.
Client is the correct.
Okay. He says,
You have to overcome young Burn. It doesn't matter what the client thinks. If they have to suffer a little bit of damage, of course you want to minimize it, but their life is more valuable than a bar stool.
oh, sure, if I lose my sword and all I have to fight with is a chair leg, then sure, I'll break it off. I just prefer weaponry.
I don't disagree. That's why I use the shovel.
You know, I've been wondering about that. Why do you use that shovel? It looks pretty odd too. It doesn't look like a shovel I've ever seen.
Would you like to hold it?
Sure.
I hand it over.
He just kind of holds it and he says, "Well, this thing's got something to it, huh?" And
Yes.
he sort of, and Delia, if you're paying attention to this at all, hi kitties.
Yes, I am.
If you're paying attention to this at all, you know that he's sort of, the look on his face, it tells you that he's sort of feeling that this thing is magical. So he doesn't exactly know how to call it. He just says, "Oh, there's something to this thing." He doesn't seem to pick up on intent at this moment like you usually do, Zachriel.
Yeah.
And he hands it back.
That's
So to catch you up, kitties, it's the sandcastles were safe, and
Thank God.
you guys-
I was so worried.
you guys are just heading up closer to the next town, and during this day, the terrain actually slopes up a bit, and you're a little bit over sea level, significantly over sea level. And Zachariel's just making conversation with the way shield that is with you, that Katie Collier hired. And at this point, fatigue sort of sets in for the horse and everyone who's not on the cart, and Katie, who's gone on this route many times, she just looks around and kind of sees that the horse is sort of disagreeing, and she says, "Well, all right, we're going to make camp here for tonight." So she has the driver, who's one of her colleagues, just pull the cart off the road, and they start setting up camp.
Zachariel, what are you making for dinner?
Well, that depends. What is Valeria and Valora catching me?
I send Valora over to the sea and see if she can get some.
To the where? I didn't catch that.
Wait a minute. How far are we from the ocean?
Well, about 2 miles, and then there's a cliff that goes about, I'd say about 300 feet down.
Okay, scratch that. What do I? Is there just grass?
Yeah, it's mostly grassland. Like even where you walked through, it's mostly coastal grassland. And there's wildlife here. Aside from the grass, there's fauna. Do you send Valora out to hunt?
Yeah.
Okay. So, roll a survival check for Valora with disadvantage because her fur makes her stick out.
Sorry, what do I roll? Survival?
Roll survival for Valora, and also give her disadvantage because she is a Black Panther, and she is against green or light green beige kind of grasses. So roll twice, take the worst. If you can't find a button for that.
Survival is wisdom.
Ah, yes. Okay, she's not skilled in it, so it would just be wisdom. Well, I feel like as a panther, she would probably get proficiency, though. Okay. So she does succeed. She catches two jackrabbits. And she kind of comes back with both of them in her mouth. Looks like it's...
I grab them from her and just say, "Good girl." Then I hand them over to Zach.
She does that panther purr, and she's nuzzling up against you, and the amount looks like it's just enough for one meal between everyone there.
Think
Would you like it roasted, or would you like a stew?
Ooh, stew would sound good.
Are you
Can I
at?
help?
Are you? Yeah, sure. I was actually going to ask you, do you have any wine on you?
Do you still have that
I
shitty
do
brandy?
not. But I think, yeah, I was just about to say, doesn't Tadias have that brandy?
You don't want that brandy. The only flavor it'll impart is disgust.
Oh, wait, I got some wine.
You did.
Just pick some up. I hand a bottle over to Zachariel. Will this work?
Oh, that's strange. I tried to buy some of this. But my friend was sold out.
Of ice wine?
Yes.
Guess I got
Have you
some in the
ever had
last
it?
bottle. Never had it, so hopefully it's good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make a stew with the wine.
Okay.
And some just like vegetables, herbs that I have, and it's gonna be spicy, of course.
Of course. All right. Roll your cooking tools. Make this intelligence because new thing. Alright. That evening it's pretty good. I'm gonna change the music.
I take out my chef's hat and put it on my head.
Dum, dum. Alright. So, the flavor of this...
Through the paper.
Wait, paper, what?
Oh, just never mind. Making a flaming here joke.
So...
Lost in translation.
Yeah, a little bit. It's okay, though. The flavor of this. It is spicy, however, because of the ice wine, it has sort of a weird cooling sensation. So it's both spicy and cooling.
Like icy hot?
But it seems... Well... Sort of, but it feels interesting on the tongue.
Is it like the spice first and then the cooling sensation?
No, it's the cooling sensation and then the spice. Well, actually, you rolled a 15. You rolled pretty well. Which is it? You choose.
I like that way more.
Okay.
Cooling sensation than the kick of the spice.
It
I'm
kind
also
of
going to write this recipe down.
it lulls you into a false state of false sense of security, and then whoosh, gives you that kick.
Yeah. Just creeps up on you.
It's peculiar. Not bad.
Everyone seems to be happy with this meal.
You know what today is, if you like, I could help you learn some cooking for when you find a girl of your fancy. And I wink at him.
Yes, I don't know if I'd be any good at it.
You know what we need? We need dancing music.
We sure do.
All eyes
If
on
only
him.
we know where someone can play some music for us.
Wonder where that elf bard is.
Hum smacks. That.
Oh, come on, I was joking.
Hum plays a tune about a Genasi whose fire goes out.
Damn. Vindictive playing, roll performance.
Balding happens to all of us, Zachary. It just is the way of life.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Everyone can kind of taste the
Do I
anger.
roll for sadness?
Roll for sure. I mean, you know, I don't really do that, but you can.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone can sort of sense the bitterness that you're kind of giving off here, and like you notice that some of Katie's colleagues are sort of tapping their feet to the beat, but they're kind of like, oh shit, like she's kind of mad,
Like, this beat's really good, but these lyrics are way out there.
or like really like, whoa, damn, the fire go out, like, oh Jesus. You know, they can like sort of sense it, and they kind of like, for the rest of the night, everyone just kind of like gives Hum space. And sort of later, as everyone sort of sat down and you guys sort of get your watches all set up, Katie walks over to you, Hum, and she says, I noticed you were a little sore about an elf bard.
So there's a new bard in town, and everybody seems to like him. It'll be okay, though. Have you heard of this bard?
She says, I haven't heard of an elf bard. I mean, there's a few. There are lots of bards on Vardos Lane when I've been able to spend time there, but recently I haven't heard of an elf bard. I've heard of a half-elf bard.
That would be the one.
She says, I actually heard her perform.
Oh, yeah? How was it?
She says, well, she had a different style to you. I don't know if I'm not a good judge of music, but I know that she had a different style from you. It was more, It's hard to say. I mean, I'm an archaeologist. I'm not a musician.
Music is a language that surpasses. Um, so, did you enjoy her performances?
So she, like, with your sort of base insight, you can kind of tell that she is trying to pick her words very carefully. She doesn't speak for a moment. She's just kind of like, her eyes are shifting around, and she's clearly thinking of, like, how do I phrase this without angering her?
Oh, don't worry. I won't be angry. It's okay to like her. I'm just teasing Zach.
Oh, okay. I mean, she's skilled. I mean, she can play a viol well. But you're
Good.
rather good on the lute too.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that. So tell me about Tadias. How long have you known him?
Answer that for me, Miles.
I mean, I started working for Dimitri maybe like 3 years ago, so probably less than that, only like, 8 months, 9 months.
Okay. She says, oh, well, we met about 8, 9 months ago. His uncle brought him on to the Archaeological Institute, and he helped me with a few delves. Helped me out of a few scraps.
Sounds good.
Do you intend to interview her more?
No, I was just having small talk.
Okay. So, yeah, small talk about today. She tells you about a few of their exploits into ruins. Most of it is in places that are relatively close to Forstride, a couple here and there. The night goes on, and the wind kind of picks up in the middle of the night, and it almost tosses around the folks on watch a bit, but isn't really that much of a hazard, and the night passes without an incident. And in the morning, everyone wakes up, packs up camp, and begins to continue their way to Mortraeth. As the road starts to level out, the incline stops. So, and you get closer to the cliff, and a few hours into the trip, you stop for a moment, and if anyone cares to, well, it's actually still pretty kind of far out, but if you were to go to the cliffside, you would see just the ocean far out to the east, and a long drop below. And Katie, as you guys start to approach the city, you can see what looks like the shapes of buildings off on the horizon. You know that you'll be there shortly, and it's not that long into the day. Katie starts to talk about where you guys will be staying before making your way inland toward the intersection of the Barren Bog and the Skyreach Peaks. She starts to talk about, she says, so we're going to be staying in a inn that has a tavern called the Cross Swords. It's owned by this really sweet young woman. Her name's Elena. Her dad passed away a few years ago, and she took over that tavern and kept her father's dream alive. She says, I always get a little emotional when I think about it, because she's such a strong girl.
She sounds wonderful.
She says she's a decent cook, or she's a good cook too. I always enjoyed all the meals I've had there before we headed off into the inland. So, you guys, you make your way there, and I'll just... The general layout of the town looks like... where'd it go? Oh. Looks like that. Let me make sure the... So it's a cliffside town. The ground beneath you is mostly stone with sort of loose loose dirt. Not much soil here except for where trees have managed to take root. There's also kind of a crag that sort of juts up from the ground over here, and the cart makes its way in, and Katie instructs her colleagues to go and shop for certain supplies, including the fish. She tells Etburn to go with them, and she says, if you don't mind, I'd actually like to get the cart stabled next to the crossed swords, and then we'll I'll introduce you to Elena. She says this to the party.
Sounds good.
So
Great.
you guys start to enter the town, and you look around, and everyone seems to be going about their business. I would like everyone to roll insight checks.
Mm.
All right. Tadias, you're looking around at the people going about their days. People at market stands, and people seem to be just getting from one point of town to the other. And you notice that some of them look your way. Some of them don't. A lot of them seem to be kind of on edge.
Hey, does anyone else feel like the town's looking at us?
You don't get the impression that they're looking at you. You get the impression that they're just on edge in general. And you're not, obviously, you don't know why. But you can
stressed out.
Yeah, they look stressed out.
Okay, so it's not like persistence.
It's not a reaction. It's not exactly a reaction to you. Like, people react to you coming in just for the virtue of your people that are just your travelers coming in.
Gotcha.
Perhaps they got visited by those things that visited us a couple days ago.
The shellfish.
Yeah, maybe we should ask around.
Mm.
So you guys, she turns the card, and you get to. She gestures to it, and there's a small stable on the side, and she says, "Here's the crossed swords." And looking up, she before you got into town, she also mentioned that it's called the crossed swords because there's a sign that's a pair of replica wooden swords that are painted, and she actually tells you the story about how Elena's father was a sort of a militiaman for Mortraeth, their own little protective guard, and he retired and he founded the tavern, and he put those up as just a sort of reminder that this was his life. So when you get there, you look up at the swords crossed over the door, and you look up and you notice that they are the familiar shark-tooth longswords. Katie looks up, sees them, and she says, "Well, that's different. Well, let's get checked in." And she starts heading to the door.
I give the sideways eye to Zachariah.
Thaddeus.
How?
Interesting.
We are close. Didn't make sense, unfortunately.
It would.
I don't know what they seek here, but they're here. Let's investigate.
So she opens the door and she goes in. Do you follow?
Yeah, I follow.
Absolutely.
All right. So
I
you,
was-
Right behind everybody.
Delia,
I was-
actually, does Delia? How much have you told Delia about this? The swords.
No,
Because
Nothing, I don't think.
not much.
okay. Were you going to
I
say
whispered
something?
to him, what's going on?
Those swords are a sign of a cult we have taken down.
Uh-oh.
You enter.
I'll,
Oh, sorry. Go on.
before you go on, I'll just place a hand on Thaddeus' shoulder and kind of pull him closer to me, and I'll say, well, if they are here, there's a good chance they're coming for this, much like the Earth. And I point to the shovel.
You think so?
You remember that when you fought them with this, they weren't going for it. At least this cult in particular.
Yeah, but I mean, the last time we dealt with cultists, I was told that they were going for
True.
weapons, so
True.
it,
I feel like
sorry.
I feel like they were here before you arrived. Their interest must be something else.
Oh yes, but if they're here and they see this, perhaps they may show themselves.
It
They're
is possible.
here. They gotta be here.
So you walk in. Yes.
We'll just keep our eyes out.
You walk in and you notice that the bar is completely empty, save for a young woman with red hair sitting behind the bar. She sees you enter. She sees Katie enter, and she says, "Oh, Katie! Hi! Oh, it's that time of year again, isn't it?" And immediately you notice a sort of nervous look on her face, and she says, "Well, have a seat, all of you. I'll serve up some rounds if you're interested." It's and by the way, it's sort of it's about 1 o'clock at this point.
Always interested. Let me take a seat.
So this sort of tavern is one where there's a lot of round tables, and it's between the door and the bar. So let me see here. Whoa. Okay. So Thaddeus takes a seat. What is everyone else doing?
Oh, I'm her drink, so she's sitting next to Thaddeus.
I'd like to take just a look around the inside of I guess like the tavern portion of the bar.
All right.
I'm just looking at general decor, maybe trying to see if anything looks like it's been moved or.
So, to describe this place a little better, entering immediately to your right, there's a stairway up, which looks like it leads to the second story. There's a couple of there's about five round tables with stools around them. You there's the bar, which is north of the door. And then to the relative west side, there's a hearth with what looks like a decorative dagger over the fireplace. And looking at it, you can you've been around weaponry. You know that thing is purely decorative, in a sense where it wouldn't stand up to something like a troll.
Yeah.
So roll a perception check.
I'm gonna be at the door, kind of looking out.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit next to him.
Zachariel, with that perception check, you look around and you notice that a lot of the table and stool, the legs of those pieces of furniture, you notice that they were broken before, and it looks like they've been glued back together. You also look to one that's sort of in the corner. The the corner of the room that it's kind of hunched in an alcove that the bar naturally creates with the wall, and you notice that this table, instead of stools, it has crates for seats. And you, as you're sort of looking around, Katie and Elena are chatting. Katie is just being her bubbly self, and Elena seems to be... looks like she is actually kind of feeling a little more chipper. You notice there's a little bit more ease in her sort of demeanor as her and Katie start talking.
I'm about to ruin that.
Okay.
I just kind of, like, as I'm walking around looking, I'm going to walk towards the two of them.
Okay.
Hello, Elena, is it?
Yes, what's your name? I'm sorry.
My name is Zachariel Vitalis. I'm a Brown Knight of the Way Shields.
Nice to meet you.
Well, pleasure to meet you as well. Katie, tell us about your father. He had settled down and opened up this this tavern.
He did?
I noticed the adornment.
She... Is all you said adornment, or did you add something else and you cut out? Uh-oh. Justin?
There isn't.
Justin? Oh, I heard an uh-oh.
He's realized
Hello?
we lost him.
Hello?
There it is. Hey, huh? Say bacon.
Bacon.
Cool.
Dice. Egg.
Oh, I didn't need that much, but anyway.
Alright. I said adornment, and then I asked her if her father was a shark hunter.
She says, no, he wasn't a shark hunter. And then, like, she kind of, actually, no, Katie pipes up and she says, he asked that. The swords, at the top of, the door, they're different. And, Elena gets this look on her face, and she says, well, it's sort of a replacement. I had to take the two brass-hilted ones down for certain reasons.
Right. Could I get a round of drinks for a table, please?
Sure, coming right up. And she goes to getting several steins filled and placed on your table.
I'm gonna, as she turns around to start filling the drinks or whatever, I'm gonna turn around and, like motion to try and get Tadai's attention and then point at the bar stools.
I, kind of just walk over and take a seat next to him. Exactly. What?
Look at the stools. They've been repaired.
You go to speak up, I can't hear you.
Look at the stools. They're glued.
Why are they glued?
I don't know, but I imagine there was a scuffle here.
I walks up and says, "What kind of scuffle do you?"
Good question. I imagine something to do with some old friends.
Perhaps you should ask her about why the town is at unease. Something had to have happened recently.
Elena?
Yes?
Just out of curiosity, do you have rooms here?
Yes, I have some rooms upstairs.
Are any vacant right now, or you have anyone staying here?
She says,
I'm gonna put my finger up to my mouth and just ask her for hand symbols. Just hold up my other hand.
Are you making that symbol? What are you doing?
No, I'm putting, like, I put my finger up to, like, shh, and then I just raise my other finger or my other hand and wave my fingers.
She blinks for a few seconds, and then she says, she looks like, I'm sorry, I need you to describe what you're trying to imply with the...
Okay, I'm trying to get her to, on one or two hands or whatever, just say how many people are, other than us, are in the tavern.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna roll insight for her, because I had trouble with that, so I don't know if she'll have trouble with that.
Art imitates life.
Okay, I'll say that 10's enough. So she blinks for a second, and she actually does something strange. She holds up her hand, or two hands, and she makes, she holds up 6 fingers, and then, like, she does a thing where she closes her hand with 5 fingers held up, and then opens it again and closes it again, like, as if that number varies.
Okay. Tadias, do you still have your book there? You show the young girl the drawing from the...
Yeah, let me fish it out. I reach into my bag and I pull out the book and I turn towards the symbol of the crushing, kind of push it towards her. Does this symbol look familiar to you in any way?
She pales.
Yes, I was
I
afraid.
come from the door to the other guy. Looks like we're having company coming through those doors.
And the door opens. And entering are 5 thuggish-looking humans. Strapped to their arms are simple wood discs lined with sheet metal to serve as shields. Upon each is a crude painting of a crab shell. 4 of them carry simple-looking longswords, while one of them carries what you all recognize as a shark-toothed longsword. The individual with the shark-toothed longsword speaks in a gruff voice. "Ali, you got protection money?" And at this point, is anyone looking to Elena?
I'm looking at Elena.
Delia's watching the guys who came in.
I've got my stein in hand.
Is anyone else looking at Elena? I'm just curious.
I'd
Yeah,
probably...
I'll look at Elena.
This is purely for flavor storytelling.
I'll be looking at the guy, kind of staring him down.
Okay, so
Hum is watching for her reaction to these guys. She saw her work and she turned to her. Right?
yeah, so her face is pale, but she looks you in the eyes, everyone who's looking at her, and that's sort of, you see like a change sort of come over her. That nervous demeanor turns into courage, and she looks up at the apparent leader, and she says, "I'm not giving any more money to you freeloading shit stains." And the apparent leader says, you think these strangers will help you? You'll regret that. Kill them!
Sir,
Roll initiative.
Damn it, I was gonna say, damn right, Will.
You can still say it.
And I was gonna shoot my bow at...
It'll have to be on.
Hum's
It'll.
gonna chuckle and say, "You're gonna fight us with that."
Okay, so I'm going to drag you guys to the character page. I want you to place your tokens where you see fit, and let me know if you can't see anything because I have dynamic lighting here.
Zach's up. Right.
Oh my god, what's going on? Oh, I have the measure tool up, that's why.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, baby.
Of course, I can't see anything again.
Okay, hold on. Why doesn't Illyria have sight? This...
Overdue.
How about now?
Oh, that's where I'm gonna roll a crit, right?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
you're so prepared.
You were looking at her, and then as soon as she queued you up, you're just fired up and ready to go. Let me get some sheets. Whoa. Okay. I need to boot up music, and I will. Somebody sing a battle scene song.
Do it,
We're
Tom.
gonna kick some butt. We're gonna kick some butt.
Alright. That's good enough. Alright. Let me sort the initiative. Alright. Hum. Kill him! And that is uttered by, this one here. Whoops. This one here.
So Hum breaks out her crossbow and just takes a shot at this one.
Alright.
The one that's a kill him.
That is a miss, unfortunately, as it pings from his shield.
He lucked out.
He did. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
That's it.
Alright. That one there that was just pinged is going to run over to Hum, and they are going to attempt to shove you to the ground with their shield hand. I need you to roll athletics. Or acrobatics. He, unfortunately, knocks you prone, and then winds up to attack. 19 to hit
It hits.
for 6 slashing.
Bastard.
This is this one's turn, who draws their longsword and kicks over the bar stool in their way and approaches Delia and is going to attack her with 2 attacks. 19 to hit.
Okay, I'm gonna do shield.
Does 19 hit?
Yes, it does.
For 8 slashing, and then they wind up again. 14.
Yeah, that just hits.
Okay. That's for 9 slashing. Is your turn, Zachriel.
Alright. I'm going to... Oh, so torn.
The leader is the one marked with the buff symbol. Or
Alright.
the talking one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run over there.
Alright.
And I am going to attempt to knock him down with my shield.
Yeah. That 16 is met with a 15. They go prone.
Get down.
Oh!
Here's your protection money.
Yeah, that's a hit. For 7 bludgeoning. That's a hit. 12 bludgeoning. Alright, so you lay into him, and he's not wearing armor, so you just shred through his clothing, and just leave him with a couple of bleeding gashes, and he's on the ground, and he's just struggling to get up. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Lear.
And from the ground, he would see that I have a sword similar to him strapped to me.
Yeah, he kind of goes wide out a little bit. It is Lyria's turn.
Okay, I'm going to throw my dagger at this one in front of me.
Alright. Oh, that's the fire one, yeah? That's a hit. Is that the fire dagger, or is that just a dagger?
That's just a dagger.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, and I'm gonna send Valora to pounce on that one there.
Alright.
But she's gonna go around.
Has to be a straight line.
Oh, I think we've done this before.
She was backing up before.
Well, no, because you have to change directions when you get to there. So, I mean, you can certainly pounce, and it wouldn't really matter what angle you take them at, because you can still pounce them in that angle.
Yeah, but I was just wondering about like this one.
Oh, she can
this
like
one,
back
if
up
she
and
goes-
then she could totally back up and do it. She has plenty of movement.
No, like if she goes down for this one.
Uh-huh.
She's worried about attack of
Well,
opportunity.
Yeah. Of
I don't
these.
Oh, I see. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I'll say that like there's a very loose arc here. Sure. I'll take it. Go and do it.
So go here then.
I'd say from here, but yeah.
There.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Okay, pounce.
Avoiding opportunity attacks, they kind of just like look, see the blur of black. No, you're not taking opportunity attacks. So go ahead and make your pounce. Unfortunately, the angle of approach doesn't seem to work out as she misses. Alright. The crushing wave reaver on the ground. Zachriel scrambles to their feet. And they are going to... Oops. They're going to attempt to attack you twice.
Okay.
8 to hit.
Miss.
And 10 to hit.
Miss.
You've messed him up so bad, he's having trouble swinging his sword. That's his turn. Delia.
I'm gonna do a magic missile on the dude that hit me.
Alright. Wait, what level did you cast this at?
3.
I'm having trouble looking at that macro. Because it's like... How many darts did you hurl?
So the bottom is
First
the
level.
regular spell,
Yeah.
and then the top is the other
Two
two.
extra ones. She rolled a 3 and a 4, and she adds what?
Oh, you must have just rolled really high, or...
Yeah, she rolled a 3 and a 4 on the higher.
Okay, got it. Alright. What does that put together? I can't math.
16.
16. You pump this guy full of arcane energy and... they definitely can't take another hit like that.
I'm going to, for my bonus action, do Blade Ward
Alright.
for my staff. And I'm gonna try and get away from him.
Okay. So, they're going to do an opportunity attack on you as you move away. 11 for
Yeah,
5
that hits.
slashing, which is reduced to 2. So it is this one's turn, who sort of goes around the table kind of awkwardly and tries to attack Zachriel. They're going to try to shove you.
Alright.
You have to beat a 14.
Ooh.
You fall prone, and they follow through with a sword attack. 14.
Miss.
So you, even though you're knocked to the ground, you hold your shield up and you accept the blow. This one is going to attack your jaguar. Panther, I'm sorry. God, the game ruined. I'm so sorry. Okay. They crouch down, and they're going to try to smack Valora with their shield to try to knock her prone. So Valora needs to roll either athletics or acrobatics to avoid being knocked.
Okay, because I know her sheet is a little different, so
Strength or dex, whichever is better. And then if she happens to have any of the skills, it'll say so underneath all those ability scores. Yeah, totally. Doesn't even phase her. But she tries to hurt her anyway with a longsword attack. Ooh, for 22 to hit. Just hits Valora her armor really hard, and you can sort of feel the hit because that was 10 damage. But that's their turn. Tadias.
Alright, so since everything's kind of happening at the same time, I kind of gently stand up, push the bar stool just a little bit to the side. I kind of give like a face to the bartender, like a here we go again. I grab the stein, I'm going to whip it right at this blue guy, just softball pitch it right into his face.
Alright. Here we go again. That's a hit. Alright, you knock them right out. It just right in the face, and they just fall over on a stool. All this wood clattering on the ground, and the stool leg breaks, and Elena, like, sort of hiding behind the bar, watching this all go down. She says, "I just fixed that!"
Alright, same moment, I'm going to grab with the other hand the beer stein that I had, throw it in this one's face, and then smash his head with it at the same time.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a hit. Woo! 10 damage.
Alright, and because I hit twice as a bonus action, I'm going to try to hit him again with my exploit.
Yeah!
So I'm just going to bash him again with the stein again. I'm going to improvise.
Improvise.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
8 damage, and then I add exploit.
Describe killing.
So I just kind of whip the stool at them, and in one spinning motion, like just kind of like on top, I just double whack this guy in the head, and I watch him fall down as I kind of look at the spadine that's kind of bent up, and I see all the alcohol that's falling off. It's like, damn shame. Throw it on the ground and look at the next one.
Alright. Hum, it's your turn.
Hum is going to stand up and viciously mock this one here.
Alright.
She's going to say, 2 of your friends are dead and you're next.
Alright, let's see if they can resist this. Nope. They get this sort of look of fright on their face, and they take 3 psychic damage. They have disadvantage on their next attack. Coming from the stairs, you hear stumbling down. What the fuck's going on? And oh shit! And they draw a longsword that's sort of haphazardly at their belt. They don't have a shield equipped, and they just go for the closest target, which is Zachriel.
Yep, they have advantage on prone.
They're going to make 2 attacks at you. 18 to hit.
Miss.
And then 9 to hit.
Miss.
Still
You're
pretty...
so beefy.
Still pretty fucked up from their stupor. Yeah, that's their turn. This one's dead. It is now Zachriel's turn.
Alright, so the one that knocked me prone, before I stand up, I'm just going to do a slight roll and punch his shins with my shield to knock him prone.
Yeah. Can you point at the one that you were doing again?
This red one here.
Okie doke.
He knocked me prone.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people use my tactics against me.
Dare they?
Yeah, you knock them prone.
Alright, then I stand up. And I look at the leader and say, "You should really keep a close eye on your allies." And I'm going to slam the shovel down at it. The red one that I knocked prone.
Alright.
Shovel!
That's a hit. That's
12.
12 damage. That's a hit.
Another 10.
Describe killing.
As I say that, the teeth of the shovel just pierces through kind of like the bridge of the nose and cuts right through the back of the scalp.
Oh yeah. And like
Everyone just hears the crunch of bone as the shovel goes through, and I'm staring at the leader.
and like anyone who at a glance you see Elena kind of like, oh shit, there's blood on the floor now. That one's dead. Illyria, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to to the side, and I'm gonna throw. Let's throw my hand axe at that one.
Okay. That is a hit. For 7 slap. We'll talk about that later. 7 damage on this guy.
Okay, and then I'm gonna get Valora to give him a big.
Yeah, give him a big bite. Roll damage. She chomps at this guy's leg and goes, ah! 9. And go, freaking cat! Your lovely Panther has damaged them quite severely. Delia, it's your turn.
I'm gonna cast Shatter, and have it radiate out of Zachriel, but with my like spell carving, make him.
Nice. Let's see here. Con saves. Alright, 1 saves, 1 doesn't. So... Well, they're dead. 11 damage. Alright. So, Zachariel, you sort of like... Somehow, you know that there's an incredibly loud ringing sound, but you don't hear a thing. As you see them sort of... the combatants in front of you just sort of like grab their ears, and the one that you were just beating the absolute tar out of, the leader, just crumples and dies.
Oh, nice.
And you notice, oh, actually there's 2 left, never mind. Anything else, Delia?
No, that's it.
Alright. That one's dead, that one's dead, that one's alive. Kind of looks at Valora and is gonna try to attack her again. And first gonna start by trying to knock her prone. It's gonna be difficult for them. Please roll strength or dex for Valora. Next, please. Unfortunately, that knocks her prone. And the cultist winds up or follows through with an attack with advantage. 18 to hit for
Misses.
Oh yeah. So winds up and sword comes down, and Valora, nimble as ever, just swiftly dodges it, and it just catches just a little bit of the armor that she was given, and it just kind of impacts the floor. That's their turn. To Dias.
Alright, I'm move in. I'm gonna sashay over here. I'm gonna take the back of Rez here. I'm gonna like try and knock this dude right on top of the head and knock him unconscious. I'm trying to do non-lethal if possible.
Okie doke.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I meant to say it on my turn, but I forgot.
22 to hit.
That's a hit.
Bow.
Just crumples.
Alright, crumples. And then he won't die if I throw him into his buddy, will he?
He'll take a death save?
One failure?
I mean, if you...
Fine, I'll just move with the rest of my movement. I'm gonna drop kick this one.
Alright.
That's unarmed. Wow. I'll improvise. Why not?
Okay.
Wow.
That's a miss. Just kind of sees you coming. He's like, shit! Still sort of disoriented from just waking up. Anything else?
Bonus action, I'll dash and I'll just get behind him and help Zach out.
Alright. Hum.
So, Hum is going to take a shot at this one that's right next to Zachariel.
Okay.
And she's going to use Psychic Blaze.
Okay,
also.
just... Oh, go ahead and roll the damage. Roll it again.
Oh, that's right.
Certainly enough. He had 11 HP. Describe killing.
So the arrow hits him straight in the chest, and then you see him grab his head, and he starts screaming and falls to the ground. Dead.
Yeah. Blood sort of tearing up from only one of his eyes, and then one of his ears on the opposite side also starts, a little bit of blood starts flowing. Valora is growling at the unconscious cultist that Tadias knocked out, and there's no more danger.
Ah, shit. We really should have kept one of them alive.
I got it.
Oh,
I grab this one by the foot and I kind of just like pull them onto my shoulder.
And I turn around to Elena and I say, I'm sorry for the damage.
I messed up. And not a big deal. I messed up because I didn't put Katie's token down. She's just right over there, hiding behind the bar.
she's always so happy looking.
She has a bubbly personality. Did Hum said apologies for messing up the bar? Is that what she said?
Yes, we're sorry for making a mess.
She says, this is nothing compared to what they did. They came in and they just... And you can actually see she's starting to shake, and you see tears start to flow down her face, and Katie sort of drapes her arm around her shoulder, and she says, it's all right. It's all right. You're going to be okay.
How long have they been here?
Through sort of shaky breaths, she says, they've been here for about 10 days. They shook me down. They knocked over tables, and they made a huge mess in the kitchen.
Do you think they're doing this to other places in town?
She says, not really that I know of. I haven't seen any other individuals like them around town. I haven't been able to leave for longer than a few hours.
If you wouldn't mind, I would love to borrow a room to talk to this one. I kind of lift my shoulder a little bit with the unconscious body on it to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Elena, are there any more upstairs?
She says, I think it was just him. They left him here after a bender.
What room did he have?
She says, I don't know where he stayed. I tried to not be up there. They make a mess of things, and it kind of stinks.
We'll follow the smell then. I start walking up the stairs with my new buddy.
Okay.
Follows behind.
So does Delia.
Okay, so let me just bring you guys to a room just for setting. Because this actually has art for a second floor.
Ah, cool.
Hey, Illyria, I say as I'm going up the stairs, shake these bodies down, see what they got.
Ooh, I was already on it.
I kneel down and pick up the shark tooth sword. Head up after it dies.
Alright, so... yes, okay.
Actually, you know what? 2 of them are enough to interrogate that person. I will stay down here just in case any more come.
Oh, Holmes have plenty enough. What are you talking about?
Alright, so let me just do a little zoom out here for the stream. Oh my god. Why can't... Oh, that's why. Okay. So, you follow the smell and you locate this room here. I'll just move you in there to dice. Oh. So, what do you do with them? Actually, you know what? I'll resolve treasure first. Illyria, you and Valora are kind of like looking over their bodies, and you're trying to loot them. Yes.
Yes, sorry.
Cool. So,
take 1 whiskey, please.
Katie, or not Katie, wow,
Yeah,
why did I
just
totally
imagine, like,
blanked on her name?
her watching me shove my shovel through a guy's head and then walking over and asking for a whiskey.
Yeah, she's shaken. like she's very shaken. She's having trouble. She's having trouble like keeping her breath, and she's crying still a little bit. Katie is doing her best to comfort her. She says, I give me a moment. I'll be right with you. Illyria, you look through their pockets and you find some carnage. And between all of them down here, you find 27 gold between all of them.
Okay.
Okay. So quartermaster. Oh wait, we don't have an established quartermaster. We need an established quartermaster. But we'll talk about that later. Zachriel eventually Elena gestures to where there's steins on a shelf, and she kind of like blubberingly directs you on where the whiskey keg is, and she kind of directing you to serve yourself because she doesn't seem to trust her dexterity at the moment. Meanwhile, upstairs, let's get some appropriate music.
Mike, are we able to see this or no?
Able to see, and who's we?
What's, like, me and Zachriel. Probably not, unless we go to the stream.
I mean, because of the dynamic lighting. Well, they're just in a room. They're just in a room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. So, you guys walk into that bedroom. What do you do with the unconscious cultist?
Is there a chair in here?
There's a bed.
I'm gonna get some rope and I'm gonna tie it up.
You can bring a chair with you. There's like stools outside.
I grab a stool so we can tie him to it.
Okay.
Tie him up today, so let's wake this guy up and see what he knows.
I put him on his belly, and then I tie his arms to the stool, like behind his back.
Okay.
And I tie him to the stool with those. So he's got his arms on his back and his belly's on the stool, and he's like leaning forward awkwardly.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just kind of wiggle him a little bit.
All right.
Just kind of slap him in the face a few times. Just
takes a while, and he wakes up and he said, "Oh shit!
Morning, sunshine."
Oh fuck!
Hum looks at him and says, "Do you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?"
He kind of narrows his eyes, and he says, "I'm sure both are the easy way, gnome."
I reach for his hand and I grab one of the fingers. You should talk to her with some respect.
Do you do anything with the finger? Or are you just grabbing it?
I just hold it right now.
Okay, so he just kind of Miss Gnome.
Go ahead, Tom.
What are you doing here?
He says, recruiting.
For what?
He says, our little group. Well, it's not so little.
Oh yeah? You got a big group?
He says, sure do.
How many people are in your big group?
He says, oh, something in the hundreds. And you can tell immediately that he's just trying to say that to intimidate you.
I break the finger.
Ah! Ah!
Honesty is appreciated. I reach for the next one.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Who runs this group?
He says, the whole thing, or just us?
The whole thing.
He says, his name is Gar.
So where are you keeping the money that you shut down these people for?
That's with our that's with our local priest. Oh, my finger.
Where are we gonna find him?
I ain't telling you that.
Break the next one.
Oh, damn it. He says, okay, alright. If you walk down the stairs on the cliff face, there's a small cave. It's a little hard to see, but if you go in there, that's where he is. Meanwhile, down the stairs, Zachariel is giving Illyria a mug of whiskey. Back upstairs.
So what are you calling your little group?
He says,
Oh, excuse me, your big group.
he says, we are the crushing wave.
Hum smacks him really hard.
Ow!
You're the what?
The crushing wave.
Where did you come from?
He says, I was mostly living here, actually. I was inducted.
Smacks him in the face.
Ah! Why do you keep doing that?
You're lucky I'm not doing anything else. Answer me clearly. You know what I mean. I don't mean you. Where does the group come from?
He says, I'm not actually sure. They showed up in town and, sorry, what, Illyria said. He says, they inducted me and I haven't really been out from town. They gave me, and this is one of the ones that had, like, they didn't, if you recall, the cultists you fought on Bayrock Keep, they had shields that very much resembled crab shells and the shark-tooth longswords. He only had a longsword and a crudely made shield. And he goes to say that they said that eventually they'd give me one of those crab shell shields and one of those shark-tooth swords.
One of these. I lift my sword out and put it on the ground next to him so he can see it.
He sees it and you see him look at it. And he doesn't really. He nods an affirmative.
Do you know how we got these?
And then he kind of like slumps a little bit. He says,
It's a rhetorical question. I break his next finger.
Okay, I told you what I know.
Yes, now I'm going to tell you what I know. We know this group. We have killed members of this group, and they have hurt us personally on many occasions. Now tell me, for one good reason, why I should let you live.
He says, he seems like he's genuinely trying to think of a reason, and he says, I can pay you.
Hum decides to touch him.
How many fingers have you gone through, by the way?
I believe that was 3?
Okay. Okay.
Hum decides it's time to make him scared.
Mm-hmm.
I see the look in her eye, and I say, Delia, we might want to leave this hum.
Okay,
That's what I'm beginning to think.
You've definitely spoken to him for longer than a minute. So he needs to make a wisdom save. What's your spell DC?
I believe it's 15.
Okay. Wisdom. Oof. So he rolls a 15, unfortunately. What happens if he saves? Oh, okay.
Nothing.
I mean, he's already frightened of you. He's already frightened of you. Just not the magical one.
The condition.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving him any paranoia.
I mean, wait. Let me read that again. Frightened of you or another creature of your choice. Yeah, he's only terrified of you. You can't seem to magically make him terrified of someone else if that's your intention.
Well, I have a feeling that this portal or stronghold they have would be easier to be there if we were him, don't you think?
I'm feeling that too. I think I have to slit your throat now.
No, please. Please don't. And he starts to scream out.
Stabs him in the arm. Do you have anything else you want to tell us that might save?
He screams again, and at this point he seems to be just sort of incoherent.
So Hum takes her dagger and just slits his throat, and then she collects his soul.
Visage of his soul. But yes, you do.
Slowly way cooler.
So he bleeds out onto the floor. More mess.
We're gonna have to clean this up.
We have the downstairs to worry about as well.
Alright, so, can you, key...
Hum looks over at Delia and she says, you okay?
That was certainly impressive. I'm a little frightened of you right now.
You've joined the group, and I kind of put my hand on her shoulder, and
This is your initiation.
I'm gonna cure you for 6.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, okay. One of us.
One of.
All right. So, Justin, next, do you guys want to play out that conversation you had while this interrogation was going on, or do you just want to kind of?
I mean, I have the stream open. You can see it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much we're drinking.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it was just us making idle chit chat while we hear.
I'm gonna say,
screaming.
hey, Elena. And then I put down that 27 gold I got onto the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, this should help you get new stuff in, get this place cleaned up.
She says.
Should cover the cost.
She says, this is probably mine to begin with, actually. Thank you.
Anytime. My shovel loves killing these people.
Oh, concordance. Cultists.
So, yeah. So, you guys have his soul. What do you guys do with the bodies?
I'm gonna do the classic Senate politician, and I'm gonna wrap this dude from the stool on the sheets of the bed.
Okay.
And kind of just make a little sack of him and bring him downstairs.
Okay.
Actually, like one addendum of while they were torturing that person.
Yeah.
When I poured a drink for myself and Ilaria, I would have poured one for Katie and Elena as well.
So every time you hear like a scream, like just to add a little storytelling to this, every time the scream can be heard, Katie covers her ears. She does not look like she's enjoying it. And like I guess she also makes a conversation about how like, you have had to do some brutal things, huh?
Yeah, actually, this group of people, they kidnapped my wife and child. So.
She just kind of slowly nods in understanding.
But we got them back, right?
Yeah, we did get them back, and actually, I cut off the leader of that group of these people's head with my shovel as well. It's a good day.
her eyes are just kind of like wide, and she's just sort of. There's a lot of violence for her. So everyone else is coming downstairs, yeah?
I'm gonna check the room to see if there's anything in.
Anything of note?
Yes.
You do a cursory check, and you can say you did it for all the rooms. You don't really find much of anything. Seems like there's foot lockers that are on the beds, but or near the beds, but it seems like they're for guests. You also find a small balcony.
Katie, I think the main takeaway here is that in Tadias's hands, you are safe.
She goes, I guess you're right. I'm pretty safe with all of you. Don't know what we would have had to deal with if you weren't with us.
I think we
I'll
should.
spare you the detail.
I think we should probably take the bodies out before doing anything else.
There's a very nice cliffside. They like the water.
So it's the middle of the day. How do you plan on doing this?
Hey, Elena. Do you have a mop?
She says, "Oh, yes." And she goes into the back and she gets cleaning supplies, pail, mop, what looks like a putty knife.
Oh, are you 3 downstairs now?
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me move the
Okay,
tokens
I'm
just
going to
for.
ask you guys if you bothered to check his pockets.
There was nothing of note.
You said you're checking the room.
Oh, okay.
So checking his pockets, you find 3 gold pieces.
So I'm thinking, if you don't mind, Elena, can we keep the bodies in that upstairs room until nightfall? Just so we don't get caught smuggling bodies out of the room.
What are you talking about? Why don't we just take all the bodies, lay them outside the door, so the rest of these scumbags come in looking for us?
Hey, Elena, do you have any big empty barrels?
You know, now that you mention it, I do have a few. I think I have 2 that are spent of booze. I haven't managed to get rid of them yet.
Well,
I don't want to make the trouble for in here. Maybe we can take the trouble to the streets.
yeah, but if we walk out there with all the bodies, lay them in a pile, the rest of them are bound to be angry or furious or whatever.
She says, you know, I've only seen the 6 of these.
Hey, this town was taken by 6?
Well, I don't know about the rest of the town. I just know that they shook me down.
Well, I mean, if they shook you down, and those 5 weren't here when we got here, there's a good possibility that either they were shaking down the rest of the town, or there's more.
Oh, there's more. They're down by the waterfront.
Oh, what a surprise. The crushing wave by the water.
We have an inn. We're going to have to do it today, though. Are you alright, Katie?
Yes, I think so.
Wait,
And-
if they're down by the water, and we put their companions' bodies in barrels, and walk down there and kick the barrels over the side of the cliff. Eh?
We're trying to be a little more discreet than that.
Come on, Tadais, you know how I feel about these cultists.
I do know, and we can talk about this when we're in less frightened company.
At that point, as it's been a while, Katie's colleagues and Etburn sort of nonchalantly enter, and they look around and oh, what the? And Etburn's just like, what the fuck happened here? Who are these guys?
Another day in the office.
The crushing wave.
Well, I wouldn't call them crushing, but...
You mean that group that stole your family?
Yep.
But maybe we shouldn't call them the crushing wave. Maybe we should call them the crushed wave.
The crushed wave.
Oh, snap.
They're good.
The small splash.
Dripping faucet.
The
The
dripping
light
tap.
rain. Morning dew.
Morning dew. Edburn just kind of chuckles at that.
Leaky faucet.
Oh, that happens when you get older.
So, I mean,
Sounds
like,
like a bar name.
Didn't need that detail.
so, Katie's colleagues are just kind of like, they're very, like, shocked at this, because these are people, not monsters. And they're kind of just, like, walking over and kind of, like, trading looks with Katie, and she's like, I think it'll be okay to stay here. I think this was the only real threat. And they all kind of, like, look at each other, and they kind of just, they look very uncertain, and they're like, oh, okay.
We're going to be going to the little rat hole and dealing with the rest of them. You should be
We're
fine.
here to protect you.
I think before we go to said rat hole, we should go door to door. Make sure everything's on the up and up, you know?
Okay.
We could call
Take
it
a little more of the
sort of
trial.
like caroling.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? Actually, think about what you're doing. We're going to take 5.
Perfect.
Sounds great.
Nice water for sure.
I'll be right back.
And in this specific way.
No,
Cool.
but I knew it wasn't the last time we see the crushing wave.
Oh, yeah, I mean, tropes.
I'm back.
Cool. I think we're ready to go. Let me pull down the slates. Make sure I don't forget that again.
That was a very chaotic, evil 20 minutes.
No, but
I mean, chaotic evil,
It was for the greater good, though.
so lawful evil. Your own code.
I mean, like, torturing the dude.
I mean, listen, torture is a viable practice for extracting information.
I don't know.
Listen, it would have been
I'm
much worse
listening.
if I was playing a paladin and I was up there.
Mm-hmm.
The fun thing about paladin is you have all this extra healing, so you can like cut off a finger and then lay on hands.
Righteous gods have a way of being extra mean to people that they don't agree with.
Or conquest paladin.
That as well.
So, what are you guys going to do? You guys are in this. You guys are in the crossed swords.
Well,
Elena.
in the realm of meta, we need to use this shadow before a short rest, so we gotta get going for that.
Well, how do we want to do it? Do we want me to turn into him? And we go in and we act like you're been captured.
I mean, we don't have to like resolve it. If you could just get in there and get information, that'll help us deal with everything. Unless you guys want to try to just literally one night the entire, crushing wave again.
I mean, I'm not against that idea, but I feel like one crushing wave lackey capturing, all of us is a little far-fetched. Considering them, we'd also have to be walking in there unarmored.
We have to make sure Katie's okay with us doing this. And
Doing
putting
what
Senator
exactly?
Sam's back.
Doing what exactly?
Scouting out the rest of the crushing wave dudes.
I
Because,
mean,
if that takes longer than half a day.
so to sort of third step back and put exegesis eyes on the narrative. You bring this up to her, and she says, as long as one of you guys stay behind, she would feel comfortable. And Edburn volunteers. Because he's there with you.
Okay.
I was going to voluntold him anyways.
Or, how much gold does he usually take from you, Elena, when they take your money?
She says, whenever they come in and demand the protection money, it was like every 3 days, they'd ask for about 50 gold.
This is ridiculous.
Normally I can't actually afford that, and they just break things, take their payment out that way.
I guess that explains all the broken stools and the crates in the corner.
She sighs. There won't be another shipment of wood from Tormer for about another 10 days, if my memory's right.
Do you still have your father's brass-hilted sword?
She she kind of perks up a bit. And she says, "I do. I have the real things and the wood painted or the painted wood replicas he made. I guess I can hang them up again."
Yeah, we should do that right away.
She goes into the kitchen, and if you look sort of through the door, you see her open up a chest. She pulls out 2 swords that are, they look as a description, except the paint's a little crude. But they have sort of a charming aesthetic to them, and you do notice that one of them is broken and glued back together. And she says, I can put these up. I need to get a ladder. And she sets about, she grabs a ladder. And if no one does anything, she just takes down the shark tooth longswords and puts up the original ones.
Those are outside, right?
Yep.
I will go out and stand out on the porch or whatever and look imposing out towards the city while she takes down the shark swords and puts up the originals.
Okay. So at this point, it's getting to be it hasn't taken that long. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and people see this happening, and they seem, people walking by, they look, and they seem to get a little bit more of a spring in their step. They see Zachriel standing there, standing guard for Elena as she's replacing these, and they don't say anything, but they just look a little more chipper as they see this happen.
Well, so should I go run a reconnaissance then?
If you feel confident you won't be caught.
I
I
have to read this.
Do you want to take your Darnik with you just in case?
Perhaps she could take you, Darnik. We could get a little close, so you could keep an eye on your situation, and Delia, you could have Nathan do aerial support.
Okay.
Alright, I summon you, Darnik, and I kind of put on Stockholm's shoulder.
So what are you doing with the barrels full of, like, stuffed bodies?
I think we're just gonna Donkey Kong them off the cliff later.
Are you gonna? But I mean, are you just leaving them in here right now, or?
Yeah, I'm sitting on top of one of them.
Okay. And they have lids, so you can shut them. All right. So you guys head into town, and it's definitely easy to locate where the stairs begin, and it's sort of carved into the hillside. Like there's a pier that sort of goes out and then down a few feet, and then that's the most dangerous part of the stair because it seems to be flush and carved into the cliffside. You start making your way down, and there's another pier, and it seems like it's a switchback, and then you keep going down, and I need perception checks to find this little cave that juts from the cliffside stairwell. Let me change the music here, because there is... anyone else rolling, or you want to just Hum got it?
Isn't this Hum? Just
oh, right. So you guys are stepping back a few.
Yeah.
yeah, we're not.
Okay. So Hum, you do find.
So before I go, I asked them, so do you want me to just go in and kind of case the place and come out, or do you want me to pretend to be him and say there's some intruders in the town and have them run out and you can kill them?
Well, we don't know this, but do you want to put on the shadow so you can get the general casual acquaintance information first?
Absolutely.
It might be able to help us make a decision.
It'd be nice to know how many numbers they actually have there.
Yeah, he was very vague about that.
So I put on his shadow
Okay.
as I get to the stairs.
Memories sort of flow into you, sort of the casual acquaintance. A lot of stuff you said about crushing wave and greatness and aspiring to harness the power of water, all that kind of nonsense. You also, casual acquaintance. Boy, they couldn't have written a more DM-dependent mechanic, could they?
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, casual acquaintance, but a casual acquaintance that's in the cult, or a casual acquaintance outside the cult? You know what? Okay, so what you learn is inside there's sort of this passageway, and then it meets up with a stairway that kind of cycles down. And, like, you know when you're remembering how to get to a place, and, you know, you just kind of, like, you can roll through the route in your mind? That kind of memory emerges, and down the stair there's like a small hallway, and then there's a few steps up, and then it leads into a structure that seems to be sort of encased in stone, like it was once some sort of structure. Like there's brick walls, brick walls, but then like it gives way to rough cavern walls and ceilings and floors. And you remember speaking with one of those folks that Hum knows is a crushing wave priest with the seaweed regalia and the staff with a shell on it. Also remembers a pair of those dudes that can change into the serpents. And he memories also surface of down at the bottom of the cliffside there are docks, and ever so often another priest will come by and take people that are inducted into the cult away by sea northward.
I share this as it starts flooding in.
And you also remember.
So what are we gonna do?
This is not going to be simple. Even if we clear out this rat hole, more are going to come and reestablish it.
Tough choices.
I defer to you, Zachariel. You're the one with the most skin in this game.
Well, we need to make sure these people are safe, so we must kill every cultist here, or at least capture them, imprison them, torture them, you know, that old shtick.
We don't need to torture all of them.
Well, I
Just
imagine
some
that
of them.
some of them may have been pressured into joining the cult, much like that young man, Brennan.
Yes. They're not thinking correctly, but we can't abide by them doing what they're doing.
Oh, I don't disagree. Could potentially send word to Gordon to get him send some way shields down here. I'm sure we're starting to get spread pretty thin. Maybe we could ask the militia.
Because has the basic ideas of this town, potentially, of this person who maybe have lived here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Runs the town. Or, what's their,
Yeah, there is a similar sort of setup to Rollid, where there is a constable who sort of runs a small guard force that is pretty pretty spread thin as well because there's not that many of them. They it seems like they didn't really have to deal with outside incursions, more just ne'er-do-wells, people inside the town that steal and whatnot. And before this, it seems like that was adequate. But they seem to be either, from the slight memories you can get, they seem to be either none the wiser to this or too weak to really do anything.
I'm gonna take a moment to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Guess that's one vote for clearing this.
I think I count for 2 votes. So
Shield. Your shovel does not count as a vote, unfortunately.
well, he really wants to kill them. So I think he does.
You just tell me what to do.
We do this tonight. I'm not going to stop Katie's trip because of this.
Well, then I guess we have to make short work of it.
Yes, I'll go tell them to stay at the...
Cross
We'll be
swords.
back.
Wait, where is everybody right now? You guys are on the cliff face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what do you do?
All right.
Do
I
you
get
want
the
me to go
details
down?
from Hum exactly where to go, and I'm gonna head back to the tavern, let them know what the plan is, and then head back to where the group.
Okay. So, yeah, you do that without any real trouble. You kind of walk through town. People are still kind of on edge. No one really pays you any mind, though. You look like you're on a mission of your own, so you just kind of, walk through. And then you return, and then what do you do?
So, what do you want me to do? Go down there and tell him somebody attacked us?
He said he was recruiting.
I'd really like to have an idea of how many we're dealing with. I mean, if she has Udarnik, is she able to speak to Udarnik and you can hear it? Or,
I can.
we can relay information like that, and then when we find out, we come into attack. Hum is able to. They'll think Hum is on their side.
So Hum goes
From,
inside.
hiding in plain sight.
Hum goes inside, gives me sight of everything. We go knock on the front door, and then all of a sudden there's a crossbow in their back.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to change change the page. Should have done that before. Oh, well. Shouldn't have got a map that was all vertical like this. Okay. Hum. You walk in. Let me remember your token.
What is my name?
What is your name? 1 second. Your name. Your name is Hum.
Yes, my name is Hum.
Chad.
No. Your name is shoot. Why is
Chaticus.
Chaticus. No, that's too cool to be a name of a dickhead NPC.
His name is.
His name is Dask. D-A-S-K.
I think Chaticus is now going to be my druid guy that we're building for the beast.
Good name. Chaticus. All right. Cool. Hum, you walk in. You walk down these stairs, and you let me get. I'm gonna do this, and then. Okay. Do you? Oops. Wait a minute. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Kitties, did your view change?
Yes.
So, do you see anything?
I see everything.
Shit.
She knows.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, well, that doesn't matter because you're gonna know this anyway. How about now?
I see it all.
What? You shouldn't actually be able to see anything. Why is Roll20 bad? Oh.
Describe the fantasy grounds.
I mean, I'm going to after this campaign. Okay. Can you keep a secret, Katie's?
I'm keeping the secret.
Alright, fuck. Why is... I just want to copy-paste. So you come down these stairs. There's some stairs ahead of you. It's a little dark down here. There is a source of light coming down this hall you're in.
Do I know my way around?
You do. And you know that just like down these hall and to the left is where to go, the usual meeting place with this priest.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna kind of poke around.
Okay. What do you mean poke around?
Look around.
Okay. In these little alcoves, you find you actually find sleeping mats and some supplies. It seems like they've made one of these into a kitchen.
Do I find any mangoes?
No, you do not find any mangoes.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw in my eyes and ears with the dragonfly now.
All right, let me actually bring you there. Well, shit. Okay,
That.
I need to get a token. Roll20 is starting to break down. Like things going slower. What?
I'm gonna hold on to Shadiah so he doesn't fall off a cliff.
Smart idea.
I mean, no, I'm good.
I squeeze.
Oh boy. Roll20 is starting to do its famous chug. So give me a sec. Alright. You should be able to see something, Miles. Hello?
Yeah.
Can you see anything?
Now I did.
Okay.
Got to-
So,
I pull 10 gold pieces out of my pocket and I go into the room with
you walk in and you see he's just sort of sitting there. It seems like he's in prayer. And on the corners of the rooms, there are these blue-skinned gentlemen that are also seemingly in prayer. And they hear your footsteps, and the priest stands up and says, Dask, was it?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
I brought the money from the crossed sword.
He says, okay. He says, very good, but do you have converts?
Not at this time. I'm still working on that.
Well, then leave the money and depart.
Okay. I throw the 10 gold piece. And I walk out.
Okay. What do you do then?
I crossed into the hall over here. I'm just looking around.
Rubble over here. And this place is sort of set up like a kitchen. Like pots and pans that are all little crude implements. Although some of the cookware seems to be lifted from a more refined establishment.
I just keep looking around because I know they're praying and they're still in the room there.
So, I'm gonna do a little thing here. Oh boy. Alright. So he can still sort of see you there, so where exactly do you go? Okay, so you sort of leave his line of sight. Okay.
I just keep checking around, looking in all the...
Yeah, I mean, in there is some sleep mats. One of them's kind of damp for some reason.
Gross.
Must have been where Das fell asleep.
I'm going to relog Roll20 real quick on my end because it's chugging so hard. Are you looking for anything? What is your plan here?
I'm just kind of casing the joint.
Okay.
Seeing what I can see.
All right. You don't see much else.
Are these stairs over here?
Those are the stairs you came up from. You came up that way.
Okay. Okay.
Those you came down from.
So I look around and saw what I could see. I didn't see anything but the three of them.
Yeah, and like living quarters, pretty much.
You got that, Jedias?
Do you actually say that?
Do you say that to you, Darnik?
I said that to you, you darn it.
I turn off the eyes and the ears, and you darn just disappears off your. There's only 3 of them. I begin following the path.
You're cutting out, Miles.
Oh, I say there's only 3 of them to the group that I'm around, and I start following the path down.
Okay. Let me bring you guys there. Is there anything else you do, Hum?
No, I look around and I don't see anything, so I basically wait at the stairs for the rest of the...
Okay. Give me a moment. Okay, hang on. Yes. Good. Alright, yeah. Oh god, there's 2 Hums, not anymore. Okay. Then my birth page. Yeah. Wow, how? Oh, wait.
Are they supposed to be visible?
How can you see them?
Dynamic lighting.
Yeah, but shouldn't be. It should be. Well, I mean, you're gonna counter them anyway, but shouldn't be.
I think you've got dynamic lighting set on their views.
I shouldn't be happening. Why is that happening?
Because Roll20.
That's really weird. I don't understand why. Because the line of sight, though. Let me see if this works anything.
Well, it wouldn't have
What
enough
the
fantasy grounds because fantasy grounds doesn't have dynamic lighting. So.
Whoa. I have no idea why
Huh?
this is happening here. Hold on. I don't know why this is happening for your end. Oh, wait. Did I? Ah,
Do you have global illumination or something?
okay. For some reason, I clicked on Advanced Fog of War. Okay, so proceed. Sorry about those technical difficulties.
This way.
Lead on, Dashk. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should.
Do you just follow?
We should what?
I said lead on, Dashk, and then I said, no, wait, maybe we should lead.
No, I have an idea.
Am I supposed to be able to see something?
Where are you? No? Oh, god damn it. Still didn't give you sight on the token page. You have sight! Do you have dark vision? You have dark vision,
Yeah,
right?
I'm a gnome.
How about now?
Aha!
I see my token and that's it.
New token, yes.
There you
Okay, now I see.
go. Okay. You follow the party. I'll go ahead and let you do that. So, Dask, you show up and he sees you and he sees Tadias and he says, oh, is this a convert? That was fast.
I'm good.
So he says, we'll step forward and we'll have some words.
What words would those be?
He says, what do you think you can do to serve the crushing wave? What value do you bring?
I'm actually more interested in your goals. I haven't heard much of them.
He says, soon enough this entire land will be swamped with water and will return to the ocean as intended.
Now, my question is, how many people have you converted out of this town within the last month?
He says, oh, quite a good number, actually. About 24.
And they all believe as you believe that this is what we should do.
He says, why, of course.
Well, then there's not much to talk about. Take out the shark sword.
Wait, where did you get that?
I was an initiate before. I run up and attack.
Roll initiative before you run up.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh god, okay.
Hey!
Nice.
Get him.
Make sure you all roll initiative because I didn't actually delete your orders. Alright, let me get their sheets up. Did everyone roll? Everyone rolled and their characters are on twice. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. I'll fix that. Okay. Okay. So you run up, and so as you sort of raise your sword, he says, "Big mistake," but it's Hum's turn. Let me change the music. Actually, it's Illyria's turn, I think, because she has a higher dex.
Oh, badass.
Okay. Well, what was he again?
What was who? I don't know what you're asking.
Like, race.
Oh, the race of the guy?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from where you are, you can't really tell. You don't have good line of sight.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna come up a bit.
Okay. And then, so you look at the guy who's speaking, and he's clearly a human, and he's just all covered with sea growth. What do you do?
I guess I'll shoot at him.
Okay. Alright, that is a hit. For 11 piercing. Okay.
I'll do it again.
Alright. That is a hit. For another 12 piercing. 1 second. Yeah, okay. Cool. Anything else?
Gonna get back into cover,
Alright. Hum.
and Valara's gonna move with him.
Got it.
Lets the shadow dissipate and shoots at the water serpent guy closest to.
Alright, he was not expecting that, so you have advantage.
Let's roll again and see if I get
A crit. Yeah.
That crit does?
Nope.
No.
And she's going to use her psychic blade.
Yeah. Alright. Another 9 damage as you lodge a bolt in him, and he cries out in anguish. As he seems to be doing something with his hands. He's trying to cast something, but you hit him before he can get it off. Tadias, it's your turn.
Gotta take this shark sword. I'm gonna drive it right at this guy's collarbone.
Alright, he is armored. He's actually wearing armor, just letting you know.
Mm.
Alright. That is a hit.
So 8 damage.
8 damage.
Slash him again.
That is just enough to hit.
Oh wow. Not very armored.
No, he's just wearing a chain shirt. 6 damage.
And then I get to do my bonus action to slash him again and exploit the opportunity.
Yeah.
Wow!
That's a hit.
And 7 plus this button right here. Ooh, max.
Alright. Wait, that's not max.
Max on the exploit.
Oh, okay. So, you bring him down to very low health. And he's just completely overtaken by this. And he's just sliced through and battered, and he just, like, in his 5-foot square, he, like, stumbles back a bit, and he says, oh, fuck this, and you see him go into his pocket, and you see this sort of, you see what is familiar sight to you, one of those devices that contains an elemental, and you see that it's sort of, warbling with this kind of dark energy, and he just smashes it on the ground, and just filling this space that includes him and like this pole that or a support beam is this creature that you're very familiar with. However, this one is a much bigger than you remember, and it just sort of surges forth, and I need to roll its initiative. That is a 12. Alright, and that's his turn, because that was his action. This guy is going to cast a spell on himself. Weird. And you see ice start to meld around his body. And that's all he can do. Then the massive water elemental goes into Tadias' space with the priest. And Tadias, I need you to make me a strength save. Alright. You just pass. You're going to take... What? On a failure. I'm just... Hold on. Okay. You are just pushed over here, and you see the priest kind of rocket out of the water elemental and just against the wall, and he just kind of crumples to the ground, dead. Zachariel, it's your turn.
Alright. Well, I'm just going to charge at the elemental.
Alright.
I didn't see who Ilaria shot at, did
I? From where you were, no.
So I will charge. And I will make an attack against it. Nodded.
As a miss.
Make another attack.
Unfortunately, that is also a miss.
Alright, that's it.
Okay. Delia.
I'm gonna move up here. And are the walls made out of like, is it like worked stone?
It is work stone.
Okay.
Except for like the south side, it's unworked. Like it's exposed. Yeah,
I'm gonna
sorry.
launch fireball in there anyway.
Okay.
And then carve out Tadias, Zachariel, and Hum.
Okay. Yeah, you fill the whole space. Let me, I don't need him anymore. Let me get the, so, 23 damage. Steam starts to sizzle off of the water elemental. He needs to roll dex save, though. He fails, and then the farmer also fails, so they takes the brunt. So the ice enshrouding this guy just disappears, and what's the carryover? Sorry, that's a math. And he's a little singed, and his ally saves. And takes... 1 second. Oh boy. Okay. Takes 20... what's 23 divided by 1? 11. For the game. Alright. So he takes... 8. Okay. So this one turns to the party, and he actually he casts that spell to give him the ice ability, but the ice armor. But he says, "Wait! We'll leave. And he's gonna try to convince. He's trying to convince you, and he takes up his whole, his whole turn to do that. What do you do?
I look over at Zach and I laugh and I say, should we let them leave?
Yes. We'll let them leave this life.
He says, well, he'll say on the next turn, he'll say something else. What are you gonna do,
I'm gonna shoot at the same one I shot at before.
Alright.
Did I crit?
You crit.
Oof.
Are you psychic blading it, or are you just gonna roll with that?
I'll psychic blade it too.
Alright. Damn.
Oh shit!
You just completely obliterate this guy.
And I look at Zach and I say, like that?
There's a slight tremble on his face.
On Illyria's turn, the Fathomer that was talking continues saying, he says, "Well, I can tell you something you might want to know." And that's all. Illyria.
Oh, no, we can't. You.
Oh, damn it.
Tell us something before my ranger friend decides.
Yeah, I got my bow ready. You got 1 second.
You do have the water elemental to deal with, who is attacking wantonly. So, you have to choose if you're going to use your turn to threaten him or if you're going to try to deal with the water elemental.
Okay, I'll deal with the water elemental.
Okay.
Okay, I'll shoot that.
Alright. Alright, so that hits. So, you see that it pierces through the watery form, but for some reason it doesn't seem to take as much. Not just because it's water, but it seems to be magical. Still your turn.
Okay, that guy hasn't said anything yet.
He hasn't had a chance to. Like, this is bullet time now. He'll say something else on his next turn.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot him, but I'm going to shoot him, like, in the hand.
Okay, so we haven't really dealt with...
his foot.
We haven't really dealt with trick shots, but you're going to take a -5 penalty, and if you miss, then you just like hit the wall. That still hits. So actually what happens is it crashes into the ice armor and roll damage. So it breaks through and you kind of nick him in the boot a little bit. And he goes, he cries out in pain. So that's going to be all that, and then all that. Oh, cool. I can just do this. So, okay. Anything else?
No, just that you got 30 seconds. Spit it out.
Okay, that's 5 rounds. Tadias.
Let's cut up some liquid, I guess. I'm gonna drop my sword, grab Rezier from my belt, and start slashing.
Okay. That's a hit.
Go for a second one.
That's a hit.
And go for a third one because I'm exploiting his openings.
That is a miss.
Alright.
Wasn't so open as it sort of like warps around your hand as you try to stab in, cut in.
I can't tell if I'm doing anything.
He's dead. He is dead. The elemental is going to...
Do it. Still have movement.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna try to move kind of like around her. See if
Okay.
this guy attacks me.
He seems to not attack you.
Alright, then I'm gonna go in this corner.
The water elemental does not recharge its thing, so it's going to follow your movements and attempt to slam you. Bam. 17 to hit,
17 will miss.
and then with his other watery protrusion, he goes for Zachriel. 10.
Has a miss.
That is your turn, Zachriel.
Okay, well, I guess on my... Is it going to use an action to say something to this guy, or...
No, it's not an action to say something.
Alright. I will say to him, help us kill it and we might let you leave. And then I'll attack the water element.
Okay.
And-
Unfortunately, that's a miss.
And again.
There it is.
Ooh. You just... Creature's large size, yeah?
Yeah.
Make me that strength save.
Alright. Roll the damage real quick. 2, and then... He rolls 22.
Hell yeah.
That's a good strength save.
Alright, anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Delia.
Well, I'm gonna send some magic missiles at the elemental.
Alright. That's a hit. I mean, that's damage. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
He says, on his turn, he says, I know where, we have some competitors that are in town, too. I know where they are. And that's it.
Hum is gonna take a shot at the water elemental.
Okay. That is a miss. As it sort of just... The string doesn't seem to service, and it kind of just splooshes into it without harming it. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Illyria.
I'm going to try at the water elemental.
Okay. That's a hit. Again, your arrow pierces through, but it doesn't seem to be doing as much as it would otherwise.
So he gets a little bit of damage.
He does.
Still?
Yep. Some droplets
Okay, I'm
fall
gonna
onto the floor and...
Try again on him.
Okay. That is a hit. Alright, again, your arrow pierces through, and some water droplets sort of carve off and drop to the floor and aren't returned to its form. Anything else?
That's all.
Tadias.
Alright, I'm going to slash.
Alright,
Right. Slash. Slash.
that's a hit.
Wow.
9 damage. Rolling well.
Slash.
That's a hit.
Swat.
11 damage. Okay,
Once extra slash for good measure.
that's a hit.
Then I get dice. Wheel.
Yes. Alright. On its turn, since you're the one attacking it the most, it's going to attack you. Actually, it's going to... Does not recharge, so it's going to try to slam into you. Oof. 9 to hit, and then a crit. Ooh.
I think the crit will hit.
Yeah, 27. That's going to be 28 damage, as it just slams into you with this torrential force of water.
Meaty. Nice.
Alright. Zachriel, it's your turn.
I look over to the blue dude. And, what did you show? I told you to help us. As in help us fight the creature. I will not tell you again. And I will strike at the creature again.
Alright.
The elemental. Ooh.
Oh.
not my day.
Hit. 12
All
damage.
right. With that, after seeing that mighty blow that Tadias suffered, I will make a wisdom save.
Alright. Condition
Oh,
immunities.
Damage 1.
1. And it rolled a 10, so now its attention is directed at you.
Yeah.
Illyria. I mean, Delia. Sorry. My bad.
I imagine the elemental does this like slow turn towards me.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to cast Shatter on it.
Okay. Con. Alright, it saves. And it looks like it's barely holding itself together. On this one's turn, you see, like, he sort of backed into a corner. He tries to kind of get as close to the corner as he can, but it looks like he's having a little trouble. However, he does attempt to fire off a spell at the elemental. Oh yeah, he misses though, and it kind of just hits the floor. But Zachary, you notice that he's actually putting in some sort of effort. It's your turn. You had disadvantage and you rolled a 6.
Oof, back.
I forgot to roll for my magic missile wand. Can I do that right now?
You had 2 days, so sure. Cool. I think you're at the full now.
I'm gonna shoot 2 charges at him.
Okay. You're shooting 2 charges?
Yes.
He's dead. The arcane energy rips through it, and the water just kind of loses its cohesion, and it just kind of splooshes into a big puddle on the ground.
And I look at blue guy here and I say, "What competitor?"
He says, all I know is that they're sort of up in the other tavern in town. They just meet there and they do what we're doing."
The other tavern? There's 2 taverns?
He says, well, it's not the one that the boys...
Oh yeah, they're all dead.
He just kind of like, his bluish skin turns lighter. He says, yeah, it's on the other side of town from there. We were instructed to not really engage them until they allowed us more force.
I imagine with the pigmentation of your skin, does he look like a human?
You know that, actually make a nature check.
Okay.
You aren't sure if he's human or water genasi.
Alright. With the pigmentation of your skin, not very common for humans.
He says, it's...
Obviously, you weren't turned to the cult against your will.
And he kind of like backs into the wall and he says, and then he just kind of stumbles on his words. He doesn't seem to be able to muster a sentence to that.
Unless you're not human. Are you not human?
He says, I am Genasi.
Oh! Well, obviously you can see I am Genasi, so...
Can I
if you
insight
were...
check him saying he's a Genasi?
Absolutely.
I'm also going to do it, but I'm also going to call his bluff and ask him to speak Primordial.
Ah.
Got it.
If you're Genasi, It's been so long since I've had a conversation with one of my people, so I switched to Primordial and I started speaking in a rough Aquan dialect, asking
He
where is he from.
he engages with you and he can speak Aquan.
Oh, nice.
Tadias, you can tell he's lying through his teeth.
Oh, it's so refreshing to come across someone speaking the language.
Especially a monster.
Yes. Well, I don't think he's a monster.
Beast, elemental, however you want to call it.
Do you know something I don't? And I slowly approached him.
He just like backs into the corner.
Well, he's lying to you.
Oh, is he? That's a shame. I was actually going to let you leave, but you just lied to my face.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm Genasi.
Are you?
He just looks at the two of you, and he says, he just kind of belts out, "It was a gift from Alhydra. Are you gonna, he's gonna do stuff. Are you guys going to attack?
I gotta stab him in the face with the shovel.
Roll initiative. Is anyone else engaging?
Yeah.
Nah.
Absolutely.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep...
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It's a 10. That's even.
That's just the third 10 for initiative roll tonight.
Then you're consistent. It's a good thing. You know exactly where you're gonna go every time.
God damn it! I really want some bacon right about now.
Yeah, I see.
Alright.
Hey, I got a 6.
More elemental's gone. Okay, so you see him start to like channel a spell, and it looks like he's gonna coat himself in that ice armor again. What do you do?
I shoot a missile at him.
Okay. That's 6. Okay. Anything else?
That was it.
Tadias.
Let's see. Res your hand axe.
Hit.
So just chuck it right into him.
Okay.
Follow up with a hand axe.
Hit.
Chuck it another one at him.
Hit. Just
Man.
you just like that goes into him, and it just kind of cuts through him, and like the ice starts to encase him just as he falls to the ground dead, and it just kind of stops, like it
And
partially encases him.
whips around him and flings them all back into my tool belt. Yeah, I still know to get hold of it.
You beat the tar out of him. Okay.
I should go check Seaweed Boy, see if he has anything interesting on him.
Yeah. He does. He's got money.
Oh, well, that's
I take my
nice.
gold back.
Oh, yeah, you got 10 gold back.
He's got 6 gold, 14 silver, and 7 copper on him. The Fathomers had nothing on them. So, what's your guys' next move?
Would appear we're not done in this town yet. There's another tavern to go save. Another group to kill.
Is everyone good
Sounds
doing it
like
now?
a good idea. I'm in.
3 p.m.ish.
I don't think we heard Tadias. He asked if the group was good enough to keep going.
I feel
Yeah, I'm
perfectly
okay.
fine.
I'm the only one that got whacked, so I'll just kind of tough it out and say, all right, let's go.
Alright. And that let's go will be resolved maybe next week?
Maybe?
Well, it depends on how many people are here. So,
Yeah.
I will not be here tomorrow.
Yes.
Next week.
I'll try, but I'm going to be remote from an Airbnb, so
ooh.
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But if Joy, if you're watching this, if you're watching this, thank you for watching
Love you,
this.
Joy.
If anyone's watching this,
Thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good night.